Good morning. Can't say happy Wednesday given the state of the market, but let's get into it. We're here, rain, snow, or shine. Hopefully, telling you everything that happened when you slept and giving you a little insight as to what is affecting the market. Let me quickly check over on X, see if people can hear me there. Hopefully, telling you everything. Yep, looks like they can. Let's pop a little GM in the chat to get things started for good morning. We'll refresh this here. It looks like we're down about 0.3 on the Nasdaq, 0.42 on the Dow, and 0.25 for the S&P. Basically, not too bad. I mean, yesterday was up. I mean, it's a whole nother story. Not a great start, not a horrible start to the day. But crypto's another story, right? Crypto got absolutely massacred the last few days. Sorry, I like to come here right about the time the market opens, but running a little late today. But we got time to talk about it. If anyone even shows up on a day like this, sometimes the best thing is just to put your stuff aside and don't even bother. But Bitcoin 66,906, down 2.8% for the day. The week down 10.7. Let's look at it in the last hour. Yeah. Daily chart, I think, says enough. Ethereum 1870, down 5.3% for the day. It was holding up a little better yesterday. That did not last. XRP $23.1, down 2.4. Solana 74.86, down 5.3. So hey Scott, great space today. Scott runs he's coming to us from YouTube this morning, but runs the Heinecoin space at 6:30 a.m. Eastern time. Great space today with Green Man and Ankita and a lot of good stuff we talked about. But let's just check. Yeah, Ankita holding strong. It was up 28% yesterday, holding strong at around 115 on a very, very down day. It's down a little today because I think it got as high. Let's see. Got as high as almost 126,000, but pretty solid for we're adding more holders too. When they came on to the GM morning show, had 119, 117 holders. Now we're at 350, and it was really solid on a bad day today. We're of course trying to tell people about it and his great content. In fact, what's weird? It doesn't show up good. I'd love to. I don't think we have time today, but another day I'll show you his latest video. It's you can go to I've reposted it in my bio, or you can go to on X at Green Man Report or at Green Man Reports. I'll try it here, but for some reason it doesn't show me his thing good on X. But 10,000 views, nice. He dropped it last night. I think this is going to be his biggest one ever. Let me just see if I can find it and just show you the video, even though you can't hear the sound unless I have a way to do it. I need to test that one day on a side stream because the sound was choppy. I have to do it in another window, but this software allows me to show you. If it's weird X, it doesn't show me his latest content. See, look at this. It just doesn't even, it's not even on there. That's just so weird. The X platform just doesn't do good on it does not do good on. I can't even find his latest video. That's why I don't show you. But anyway, at Green Man Reports, and you can look on my X, Crypto Bull Ron. It's in there great. But yeah, it's awesome video. He does kind of a Terminator thing. Anyway, yeah, check it out. DYOR, obviously. Anyway, absolute bloodbath day. My theory is it's all because of all the IPOs. Obviously, we had, let's just jump through the screens. We'll talk about it. Kind of go fast today. We got about 15 minutes to talk. Bitcoin dropped from 74,000 to 66,000 in 48 hours on no real news. The coming months, 3 of the biggest AI labs in the world are going public. Space I at 175 to 1.8 trillion. Anthropic 965 billion. They've already filed for their IPO, as I believe is OpenAI 852, and they raised 68 billion last week. So we have all this money on a space today with Jason A.I. Williams, a good friend here from X, big time guy in the space, made a lot of money before he came to the space and has been here since like 2015 or so. But anyway, pretty well connected, invests in a lot of funds, runs a few funds. Anyway, he said all anyone cares about is these AI IPOs. So that's that's his theory. And I think it is. I even have a Chinese one raising $7 billion too. We'll talk about it. To me, that's it. I mean, look, we can talk technical stuff. We can talk rejected off the 200-day. We can talk bear flags, all that stuff. It all applies. But I believe, and we got the war last night. I can't believe we had all these missiles fly and no nothing, right? It was, I mean, I thought I have a YouTube channel I follow that reports live, and they show it on a map. They put red marks. They comb they got people combing all the international sites for videos. People are shooting from their phones. I mean, it was pretty major scale right there. You know what I mean? We'll talk about that. I'm surprised it didn't crack the ceasefire. But anyway, that's what I think it is. I'm not worrying too much about it, but it still sucks when you look down and see you down. President Trump claimed that Iran has agreed not to build any nuclear weapons, but they could change their mind. He also said, he was disturbed by Netanyahu. The reports are he asked Netanyahu, "Are you effing nuts?" And he basically said, yeah, he did say that. And he was very disturbed by Netanyahu continuing fighting with Lebanon. They're sworn mortal enemies, obviously right next door to each other. Anyway, it is what it is. So he's a little tension there, but I don't know. I'm shocked with all the bombs. I have a couple reports on it. It was massive. It was hundreds. I think the Kuwait. I think I've got a slide on the Kuwait airport. I think 65 people were injured. I know some people died. So I'm surprised it didn't escalate far. They're trying to keep it. They're trying to keep it from getting out of hand. But strategy in Bitcoin Bitmine down a combined 16 billion. Strategies down 7.25 billion. Tom Lee's down 8.74 billion. I'd gladly change places with Saylor, but not Tom Lee. I just feel like Ethereum, I think he'll do good. I don't think he's going to lose money, but he's not going to thrive. Like Bitcoin has no competition, whereas Ethereum has all kinds of competition. And they're behind the 8 ball too. They're still slow and expensive comparatively. So, hey, Mr. Heine, GM, nice. Mr. Heine, the actual founder of the Heine community, does a great morning kind of walk and talk, video, drive and talk, walk on the beach and talk. Anyway, good stuff. Good community with a lot of education. Steph there. Steph.heine.soul from X has a great he's there. He's a Heine community official kind of technical analysis guy, but he's starting a group. I think there's only 25 spots available, only $20. Everyone's going to receive $10 in he's going to hold it till the session's over in like October. Everyone's going to get $10 in Ankita token and $10 in Zoom token. So we'll see where that happens. Maybe you can make all your money back and then some, depending on how those tokens do. We'll see. Anyway, kind of fun place. So yeah, I'll be doing some content on it and with Steph as well, learning a little bit. But he's got that private group. You ought to check him out. Steph.heine.soul on X. But welcome, Steph. Good to see you. Former big-time professional poker player in Europe. Ever since we had that talk that day, I see a ton of videos about poker hands. Right, it's getting me sucked in a little bit. But Clarity Act Clarity Act's one of the things that could get us out of this doldrum, right? And I think it passes before 4th of July because of the importance it carries to the U.S. dollar and their dominance and whatnot. So I think it absolutely passes. I think Trump will move heaven and earth to get it done. But it's starting to gain from national security, intelligence, law enforcement professional heads the floor. The bill includes provisional aims of strengthening anti-illicit finance efforts and whatnot. So it's starting to get the support of the intelligence wing, law enforcement wing of the government as well. I mentioned this on Scott Show Day, which I'm going to retweet because it was great talking about Ankita and all the stuff they're doing and just general market conditions. But we saw this, Becker saw that this obsession that basically spent $750,000 is now in the 100 million. So, 120x. But he said this is big opportunity when AI gets good enough. Anime, live action movies at $7 million are going to create huge blockbusters and compete. And that's absolutely happening. Green Man's kind of the tip of the spear on that. He makes these little videos. I wish I could show them to you, but I just can't get his content to pull up new content on the X, on the desktop. It sucks, but I'll great stuff, man. Great funny videos. Did one on Rambo, playoff Rambo. Did one playoff Godzilla. Yesterday's was the playoff of Terminator 2. So good stuff, man. But anyway, appreciate everyone joining me live. Horrible bloodbath day. This is not what I was looking to pull up here, but this is our guy Fitty.eth lives out there by the Kardashians, having some freaking hellacious looking fajitas there. I told him you're supposed to be touching grass, not going into full living like a king mode. That was you know what that was? I think, let me see. Oh no, there it is. I don't know what that's about. I'll lose that one. But Brazil, ag giant Adecanagro, I'm sure I'm saying it wrong, is launching a new Bitcoin mining center powered by sugarcane biomass, turning agricultural waste into energy for Bitcoin production. This is cool stuff when you use renewables. And I mean, I'm telling you, Bitcoin mining really does help push forward renewables. There was some FUD at one point that it was hurting things, causing global warming or whatever. But yeah, this is crazy. Just a one attack. And I watched this all night thinking it was going to escalate bigger, but 63 people were injured on just the attack on Kuwait, and they're attacking army bases. And I know there was at least 1 or 2 people killed. So not cool. But for some reason it didn't. I'm sure that won't last long. Trump doesn't want to look weak, but that's a very complicated situation. Either way, we need, for us, our purposes, obviously we don't like to see people at war, but we need to see that help us to get out of this doldrum. Otherwise, I think it's going to be a long month. May even go down lower. I don't know. The 200-day moving average, week moving average, which is my kind of distinct, line in the sand between bear trend, bear market, and like deep bear market. I think it's a 61.5. So we could hit that and then we go down to 50. Who knows? That's what you need to listen to Steph for stuff like that. But anyway, this was Wolf of Wall Street's here. Scott Melker showing Peter Schiff finally said something about Bitcoin that I agree on. As Bitcoin continues to melt down, now breaking below 67K, pressure will build from Trump's Bitcoin donors, his family's businesses to use their strategic Bitcoin reserve to bail out Bitcoin investors and crypto investors industry. He's calling it a bailout. He thinks it's a negative. I love it. I think he's right. And I think it's good. Listen, how else are we going to pay off the national debt, but maybe have a Bitcoin reserve? So screw you, Peter Schiff, but you finally said something made sense. Now, listen, he's a smart guy. When I watch him talking about politics, gold, silver, he's a super smart guy. He's just salty because he missed out Bitcoin sub $1 and he's pissed about it. And now he's continues to use it to yield farm. Now this is interesting. Standard Chartered said Ethereum could outperform Bitcoin by 80% year end. The reason? Bitcoin treasury firms may sell assets to meet obligations while ETH holders can earn staking yield. So I think the one advantage that Tom Lee has in BitMine is the fact that he can earn yield. And I don't think they're talking about either of those companies. They're talking about the less stable kind of copycat companies. But good point. Well taken. Well noted. And this is also Scott Melker. I was looking at his feed today. Remove your emotions. Answer this question. Do you think that Bitcoin high is in forever? In other words, was 126 the highest we'll ever hit? If you believe that Bitcoin will eventually make new highs and you currently have the opportunity to buy it at 50% discount to recent price, Amen, amen, amen. If you listen to nothing today, just listen to that. I think it's my thesis always going to million. I base everything on that. MasterCard to enable 24/7 stablecoin settlement from Ripple's RLUSD, USDC, other stablecoins across the XRP ledger, Ethereum, Solana, Polygon, Base, and Arbitrum. But yeah, this is one thing that X is doing. I think Windio's pretty big over on TikTok. I've met her a few times. Pretty solid content creator, no BS, and she's pretty good. But she's on TikTok, so I think she plays a little too XRP because people love it over there. Maybe she just truly loves XRP, but talks about it more than you probably would over here on X. But this XRP ledger was stayed with RWA and tokenization, and also their stable coin. And that, to me, that's some of the most bullish stuff they're working on. I like XRP. I don't love XRP. Sorry, Charting Wealth, my buddy, back from a few weeks off. Citigroup names Chainlink CCIP as the interoperability standard for the tokenized economy. Bank estimates tokenized assets go to 8.2 trillion by 2030. They're saying Chainlink's your play, and I believe that too. I think everyone should own Chainlink. It's their CCIP interoperability, I believe, is the standard. Look into that. I think everyone should own Chainlink for sure. It does what it wants, kind of when it wants to, but so I don't know what this was about, but Chester Pratt moved on the mayoral election, as well as I think did Steve Hinton for governor. So man, let's get some smart, decent, half competent people in there. The Clarity Act, I believe today starts official on this official calendar, so they can start doing it. I predict it gets passed and signed before 4th of July. Maybe not, but we'll see. Grant Cardone said he bought. We hang with Grant and his brother Gary a lot on Spaces and stuff like that. He said he bought 2,000 Bitcoin at 92,000, refused to sell. I'm underwater. It doesn't bother me at all. It's tied to a long-term asset, real estate, and I believe it's going to zero. I wouldn't have done this. So, he gets it right. Doesn't care. He's going to be buying more. I think Saylor might be buying more on this dip. You're crazy not to if you have dry powder. And to further part of my thesis, DeepSeek, now that up and coming Chinese AI company that stirred up so much controversy, really making headway, they're raising 7.5 billion. So listen, it's going to could be a long June for Bitcoin and crypto. Grayscale's HYPG starts trading tomorrow or today. I don't remember. I thought it was today, maybe tomorrow. It'll be the largest. So we'll have, I think that'll be three. I think that's 3 Hyperliquid ETFs. So Hyperliquid is continuing to kick ass and take names. Quick look at Bitcoin. Back again, see if it's any better, any worse. 66,865. I'd say it's off the lows we looked at but yeah, pretty shitty, however you look at it. But let's see if what Hype's doing. Near Protocol, Ondo, TWA1, World Coin, which is a proof of humanity, works with AI. Near Protocol work with AI. Lighter, I don't know anything about. Anyway, where's Hype in here? Anyway, I can't see it. Sometimes it's nice to see stuff, but it sucks when you're having to look through 100. Anyway, it's obviously not blowing up today, but either way, that's a good, solid thing. Hype, buy it on the dip, man. My opinion. ADP, non-farm payroll, 122, expected 118, prior 109. I think that's a nothing burger considering everything else that's gone on. But back to Bitcoin. Look, it's just a shitty day in the market. What can I say? Especially for crypto. Are we at the bottom? We're going to hold here and rebound? Are we going to bleed lower? Who knows? We got the war. We'll see what happens. I really think, I just think we're going to see this outflow, especially for SpaceX, which I think is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. So, just sell some stuff. I'm going to sell some stuff. I got a bunch of stuff I'm going to sell, start working on that maybe as early as today. Buy this dip. I have to sell other stuff to move over, which some I might that performed a little better. If we can get Ankita to $1 billion, then we can all buy a bunch of Bitcoin. But 117, holding pretty steady, man. I'm going to start talking more and maybe pick up a little more on Ankita today because I bought it obviously at 3,000, 6,000 original, and I bought more at 50, 60,000. I spent like 4 or 5, 6 times, 10 times the money at the higher levels and didn't get as much, but that's fine. I'm okay to support the chart. And I see this, I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good that we're getting new people. The old people are clearing out. We're getting some diamond-handed people who believe in the Ankita. And like you saw from Alex Becker saying, it's got some future. We're over time, man. Sorry the market sucks. Touch some grass. I'm going to go work out. I rode 10 miles on the stationary bike, lifted weights yesterday. I'm going to do the same thing today. Have a great day as much as you can, and just don't panic and buy the dip if you can.